I'm going to invite the panelists. The theme of this panel is Innovation Journeys. I'm going to be asking these panel members over here the nature of the journey that they are on, how it started, what were the stumbles, what were the joys, and where they're going now. All these journeys, I noticed as I was listening to the nature of innovations of these winners, they are part of a national innovation journey. I noticed that all of them, all our winners, our gold winners, have been stretching that last mile to reach into the rural areas and the deep beyond. So could you talk a little bit about what were we looking for and what were we not looking for when we were searching for good innovation in the country?
One of the things we didn't want to do is to give an award for a process innovation, if you like, or a product innovation, but to look at it in a more holistic manner as to what it did to the organization, and even more profoundly, what it did to the people outside the organization. And if you read through the citations, you will find that almost all of these award winners have contributed to the larger society in improving quality of life, if I can put it that way. It's more than just a great idea for making a process change that would multiply your profits. It's something in addition. And I think that, to my mind, and I think to our panels, was a guiding light. And you'll find that reflected in the citations and in the nature of the awards that we gave.
From your perspective, what do you consider most novel in your innovation?
I think the most important component is trying to make excellence and equity compatible. Taking the best quality healthcare to all people in the remotest areas without compromise.
So if you look at the product, it was the engine of ACE, the in-house developed, indigenously developed engine, which was the most innovative part of the product as seen by the customer, because if you see today, the engine of the ACE is delivering the maximum value to the customer. And if you look at it from the organizational perspective, because I believe this product innovation happened because we looked at the organization in a different manner. We changed our structure, we changed our work systems, which is actually going to give us a sustainable advantage in terms of coming out with more product or service innovation. 40 projects.
Well, frankly, the whole concept of what we are doing is so integrated that every bit of it is innovative. So it's very difficult for me to say this is more innovative than the other. But to put it very briefly, it was first trying to adjust our own mindset to the realities of village poultry as it actually happened, understanding what goes on at the village level. And that's easier said than done because we are all urban people, and to be able to put yourself in that position is difficult. So getting our mindset into the situation was the foremost. Second was, of course, developing a distribution system. How do you produce something? Genetics was part of it, but how do you produce something in millions and then distribute them in ones and twos and threes in the remotest of villages, house delivery in a sustainable economic fashion?
So what was the biggest challenge that you had in bringing about this change?
I think there were more than several challenges. If you remember, when we started, we didn't have people with those skills, we didn't have telecom, we didn't have infrastructure, we didn't have the right office buildings, we didn't know whether we had employees. We had a good idea, that's about it. I think the challenges actually were making sure that we could convince US companies, UK companies to change the way they were working and thinking and bring that work 7,000, 5,000 miles away and entrust it to us.
Yeah, the main challenge that facing the commodity futures trading community was that for 40 years, commodity futures trading was banned in our country. And as you all know, we went through a certain socialist phase. In 2003, January, the ban was lifted completely. The challenge was to set up a 21st century, state-of-the-art, computer-linked, satellite connectivity-based exchange.
But still the big challenge is how do you actually reach every individual village or every individual family really? And where the cost of that or the money that can be spent on a monthly basis is as low as 200 rupees or 100 rupees per month. So your capital expenditure has to be very, very low. So you've got to find out innovative technologies so that it becomes very cost effective. And it's a big challenge to technology developers in that you have to create a system, you have to create electronics that has to make business sense with this kind of ARPU, this kind of money that can be actually spared for this activity.
2.2 million people take our tickets every day, which is many times more than all Indian Airlines tickets combined, issued in a year. And it was a very challenging task for us to reach people. We cover more than 90% of the villages in Karnataka and also neighboring states, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, even go up to Bombay, Shirdi, Goa, all the places. 2.2 million people every day was a very big challenge.
You know, there are 200 million illiterates in India, and according to world standards, it requires 200 hours of training to make a person literate. Now the adult illiterates who need to put food on the table, they don't have 200 hours to spend to learn.
It does come down to the spark striking separate people. And someone in government has to feel the same spark. And we've got examples government organizations do feel and can make change. I'm sure the constraints in a government organization in terms of their governance requirements, their audit requirements, their budgeting requirements are more severe than for you in a multinational corporation. I think ultimately the lesson for me, listening to the diversity of people coming from different fields, is that each of us has the potential in us, as the President was reminding us, to be, and he was hitting the students there, to take the oath. Each of us will be the change that we want to see in our country and in the world. So I would end this panel discussion with, I was reminded as you were all speaking, this is a quotation of a very young man who was 16 years old at the time, and he said to Humani's, his Secretary General, was his tutor, he said, "The gods put dreams in the hearts of men, dreams that are much larger than they are. Dreams and hopes that are much larger than they are. The greatness of a man lies in that painful discrepancy between the goal he sets himself and the strength nature granted him when he came into the world." It's the goal, the dream that you set yourself and never let go, but recognizing that you're very small. At the moment I'm very small to realize that dream. And you feel the pain. And I think that's what I've noticed amongst all these innovators, as we had introduced some of them before, that there was a pain they felt in two things. One, the condition of the world around them, and the other pain was their inability to do something about it. But rather than blame the surroundings, they took upon themselves to learn and change and to innovate what they did. Their ideas, their organization, the way they related and partnered with others. So to the young students particularly who are here, who shall be, as the President pointed out, the people who 15 years from today or 10 years from today, who we shall be seeing in the forefront, I hope you shall have that spirit of that man on the white horse in Macedonia. So you shall realize your dreams and we shall follow. Many follow young Alexander with his dreams too. So may I thank this brilliant panel for your time, and I congratulate all of you once again for leading us and showing us the way forward. Thank you. Let's give them a hand.